My name is Jordan, and I am a product marketing specialist here at Empathy. So thanks for joining us for another live session on this nice Friday morning. And today we're going to dig into the topic of search as a product. So do you build or do you buy? And how do you make that decision? We will explore search as self-managed components, from different perspectives. So from infrastructure and engineering and platform to customer success engineering, growth, and user experience as well. But before we get started, let me introduce our subject matter experts for the day. So we will hear from Ramiro Alvarez, platform engineer, Ana Reces, our backend engineer for customer success, Tania, our growth director, and Borja Santaolalla, our chief experience officer. So please remember to pop any questions that you may have into the chat, and our team will get back to you after the session. All right, so let's get going. Ramiro, what are the steps to follow to implement search as a product?
Hi, when a new company is interested in Empathy Search as a product, there are some common concerns from CTOs, VP of engineering, related to 5 big topics. The first topic, cloud dependencies. We have a pretty low coupling with cloud dependencies. Being product agnostic reduces dependency on specific cloud services, promoting flexibility and ease of migration between different cloud providers without major modifications. The next big topic is autonomy, empowering engineering teams to manage disaster recovery, infrastructure, and updates, enhance their ownership and accountability, leading to more efficient solutions. This allows us to accomplish whatever scenario, from simple high availability setup to a multi-region active disaster recovery scenario, minimizing the impact of regional failures. With autonomy, there are the deployment autonomy, providing total control over when and how applications are deployed, grants the flexibility needed for strategic planning. The next big topic is observability. We offer a comprehensive metrics collection, dashboards, and alerting system, ensure real-time visibility into applications performance, allowing for proactive issue resolution and optimization. The next big topic is upgrades and security compliance. We offer regular system improvements and upgrades, ensuring that the systems stays up to date with the latest feature, security patches, and optimization, contributing to long-term sustainability. And the last big topic is extensibility. We offer full control of API execution environment with extensible policies, especially on search extensibility, aligning business requirements. So, to sum up, we enhance your teams, sharing our practices based on the experience and deployments in multiple scenarios.
Okay, so thanks, Ramiro. I think you summed up pretty clearly how that first layer of the platform works. So now let's move toward the application and component development part. So Ana, we heard Ramiro talk about extensibility. What are you referring to when you talk about search extensibility? What's the collaboration like between the software development teams and the customer IT teams?
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. From the developer's perspective, we offer a full control of the API execution environment using extensible policies for search setup. Empathy offers a core product that allows the tech teams to work with their business by adapting the product to their necessities in order to maximize their objectives. With this core product, most of our clients can fill their necessities with just configuring the service on their environments. For the configuration, we have 2 main extensibility points. First one is the index side. Most of the behaviors, as I can say, can be customized from the configuration. We can index the feed as it is provided to us, or we can transform it to improve the search experience. For example, we can extract the flavor of the yogurts or the ice creams from the description of the name to facilitate the faceting later on the search without need to change anything on the input feed. And the other extension point is the search side. We have a set of features that could be used and configured based on the business experience required, from sorting, faceting, spell check, or many others. We could also provide based experience on the inputs. For example, based on the location on the search, we can calculate the minimum price for a product. Apart from the current location on the client, this can take into account the stock of the shops and the warehouses. We can also disable functionality in case of a bot attack in order to maintain the healthiness of the service for the real users. And the other big topic is the plugin extensibility. This is the part where we work with our enterprise clients. On the enterprise clients, the relationship is closer, and we work together to keep growing our product based on the client's necessity. On this kind of relationship, we are involved on the product roadmap and the tech and the business teams to help them with our capacities to enhance their search experience.
All right, thanks again, Anna. Okay, so now, Tania, now that we've heard the engineering perspective, what about the business and strategic level approach? What does extensibility and search as a product offer businesses and retailers?
Sure, Jordan, thank you. So yeah, now that, as you said, now that we understand the infrastructure, let's think about the business and strategic level. And I want to focus specifically on three of those different implications. So one is CapEx versus OpEx, or you can think of that as technology spent as a strategic advantage. So when a company invests in a SaaS, it is actually spending its money on someone else's asset, that is the software vendor. So you can think of that even that the spend becomes a recurrent cost and investment in someone else's asset. So with the approach that we are talking about here and now, you acquire an asset. So it becomes your innovation pipe. It becomes your operating investment. When a retailer has to make a strategic decision on where to invest, this approach actually is music to the ears of any CFO or board of directors. Secondly, this approach, search as a product, empowers your IT and engineering teams instead of limiting them to a black box interface. Empathy provides our ready-made components that your internal teams can modify, replicate, reverse engineer, extend, innovate, you name it. There's really no limitation to their creativity. In short, you are empowering your own engineering teams to fly faster, to be more competitive, and to simply enjoy the job. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, search and discovery are crucial for any e-commerce. They represent the way that the brand communicates with its audience, how it connects to market demand and offer. Is truly the space between your products and your customers. Can you actually think of a more important space of value? It's becoming more and more apparent that relegating this mission-critical space to a third party is unwise and unsustainable, and the retailer actually must take control over its relationship with its customers into its own hands. So in summary, at Empathy, we reimagine the client-vendor relationship by enabling a close partnership, co-creation, and co-innovation relationship thanks to the search as a product approach. This approach, as we have reviewed, helps to view technology spend as a strategic and operating advantage. It also helps to empower your own IT and engineering teams. And it also helps to regain control of the most valuable space between your products and your customers, that is search and discovery.
Wow, so Tania, that sounds like a really close-knit relationship that you're talking about between the vendor teams and the client teams. So I think that's pretty awesome because that means we get to work with our customers as partners, not just as customers, right? All right, so before we wrap up, Borja, do you have any thoughts you want to share?
Guys, amazing. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It was amazing, guys. I really enjoy Ramiro, your views on infra, Anna, on the software and application layer, and Tania, of course, your presentation on the business model was music to my ears as well. So thank you very much. So let me share some final wrap-up notes and the key takeaways that I believe are important. So why do big retailers choose self-managed components? I think because it brings the best of the two worlds, buy versus build. The first one is control and governance. We've talked about product managers. They want to own their own roadmap. They don't want to rely on vendors to deliver. Same goes with engineering teams. They have access to the code, to the source code. The data sits within their own cloud. And code can be tweaked, forked, and so on, so they feel empowered to do their job. And the second one is very important. I think it's finances. We haven't really drilled down into it, but renting a core service as search, for instance, it may work during ramp up for a start, but it doesn't scale. It's very, very, very expensive. So ownership makes a lot of sense. So buying licenses of components only once, and then focusing on evolution, it's what really works. And speaking of once, actually, once is the name of a product that the folks at 3537 Signals launched, the guys from Basecamp. And it's a very similar offering. You pay once for the software and you forget about licenses. So this is really, really becoming an industry trend. Okay, so it's not something that we came up with, not at all. And the third point, which I believe is very, very important, it's evolution. Because building is great. And this is what we've seen in companies that they have large search teams. They build, they use their own open source, they use Elastic, but yet, it's slower. You can afford that, but then there is a moment where there is a knowledge cap. And at that point, you need deep domain expertise. And that's what it takes, because you haven't got the exposure to the whole industry of search and discovery. So I think that access to component upgrades allows you to speed up innovation whilst keeping control. So all in all, guys, control and governance, finances, and speed of evolution is what self-hosted components, or as we call them, services as a product, or search as a product, are what your product teams need to boost performance with speed and, of course, the ability to differentiate from competitors. So that's all from me, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. And all over to you, Jordan.
Thanks, Borja. Yeah, so it sounds like really the most important thing about search as a product and search as self-hosted components is that the customer is in control. The customer gets to work with their vendor and can really have that detailed, decision making over what their search process looks like. And it's something that drives everything else, right? So you start with the innovation, and that's just going to help your product grow. Right? So, well, I think that's a pretty cool topic for today. So thank you all for joining us. And remember, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat or reach out to one of us directly. We'll be happy to get back to you. And we will see you next Friday. So stay tuned to see what our topic will be. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Baby. We don't have to figure out by now.
I hope we're not live already.
Oh, you got your pictures on the wall.